How do global free speech laws differ from the First Amendment? Imagine living in a country where your words could land you in jail or lead to fines just for expressing your opinions. That's a very different picture from what Americans experience with free speech. Today, we're exploring how laws around the world compare to the First Amendment in the United States. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution states that Congress cannot make laws that restrict freedom of speech, the press, religion, assembly, or petition. This means the government cannot punish you for what you say, with only a few exceptions like obscenity or inciting violence. In the United States, even hate speech, words that attack someone based on race, religion, or gender, are usually protected. Courts decide what speech is unprotected, and the government has the burden to prove that a restriction is necessary. Now, in many other countries, free speech is protected but not as broadly. In Europe, laws like Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights say that free speech can be limited to protect public safety, morals, or the rights of others. Hate speech often faces criminal penalties. For example, denying the Holocaust or spreading racist ideas can lead to fines or jail time. Europe also has the right to be forgotten, which allows people to request that certain personal information be removed from online search results. The United Kingdom does not have a written constitution like the United States but has a long tradition of free speech. Still, the UK allows more restrictions. They can stop the publication of certain material before it is released, which is called prior restraint. They also have stricter libel laws, making it easier to sue for defamation. Other countries like Sweden and Germany also protect free speech but balance it with laws against hate speech and defamation. In Sweden, you can be prosecuted for public statements that threaten or disrespect someone based on race, gender, or religion. These laws aim to protect individuals from harm while still allowing free expression. In the United States, you can generally say what you want even if it's unpopular or offensive. Private companies like social media platforms can set their own rules, but the government cannot silence you for criticizing it. Knowing your rights helps you understand what you can say and where limits might exist, especially if you travel or communicate online across borders. These differences exist because countries have different histories and cultural values. The United States' approach is rooted in a distrust of government power and a belief that more speech helps address disagreements. Many other democracies think some speech can cause harm and that governments should protect individuals from that harm. Understanding these differences is important because it helps you know what protections you have and what limits might apply depending on where you are. If you're in the United States, your right to free speech is very broad. Elsewhere, you might need to be more careful about what you say, especially if it could be seen as hateful or harmful. Being aware of these rules helps you make smart choices about your words and actions, whether at home or abroad. Prior restraint is when the government stops speech before it happens, which is rare in the United States but more common elsewhere. Hate speech is protected in the United States but often criminalized in other countries. The right to be forgotten is a European law that lets people ask for certain personal info to be removed from search results. To sum up, free speech is a fundamental right, but the way it is protected varies around the world. The First Amendment gives Americans some of the strongest protections, but other countries balance free speech with protecting people from harm. Knowing these differences helps you understand your rights and responsibilities, no matter where you are.